God has always been looking to set captives free. From the very beginning, his heart has beat for freedom. In the Bible, we read story after story of how God raises up his people to stand for those who are suffering, the oppressed, the orphan, the widow, the enslaved, to seek justice. We think of Moses telling Pharaoh to let my people go and bringing God's people out of slavery. Esther boldly going before the king to tell him about the plot of Haman so that God's people again can be saved. We think of the story of the Good Samaritan, the stranger putting himself at risk to help someone at need. And then ultimately, Jesus giving his life as he hung there on that cross for our freedom. Today, God's story continues to be written, a story of freedom, a story of justice, and we get to join him in what he is doing. Because with God, we can do immeasurably more than you can imagine. My name is Zoe, and I live in Edinburgh and work for International Justice Mission, or IJM for short. And we are the largest anti-slavery organisation in the world, made up of a global team of undercover investigators, lawyers, social workers, and champions of justice like you and I. We have teams all over the world who are working with local police to rescue those trapped in slavery, to walk with them in their journeys of healing, and to fight for justice. Now, if you're anything like me, you will have found yourself challenged afresh about the role of justice in these past months, challenged afresh about your own role in seeking justice. The stories that are emerging all over our social media and news platforms are deeply painful reminders of the injustice that exists in our world today. At IJM, we see injustice in many forms. Young boys brutally beaten for adding too much salt to a recipe when enslaved in a sweet factory away from their families. Women forced to work for long hours, even when they're ill, deprived of their wages, to make the clothes that we can then buy for a bargain high street price. Or you might have noticed I'm surrounded by fishing boats. In Ghana, tens of thousands of young children are kidnapped and forced to work in the fishing industry. Each one made in the image of God, but robbed of their freedom because of human greed. Today, 2 children are sold into slavery every minute. There are over 40 million people living in slavery today. That's more than any other time in history, more than during the entirety of the transatlantic slave trade. Slavery today is more vast than ever. It is more brutal than ever, but it's also more stoppable than ever. God is making all things new, and his heart continues to be to set the captive free. Here at IJM, we believe that together we can end slavery in our lifetime. A bold claim, but we know it's possible. Every day we are hearing incredible stories of people being rescued into freedom. In Ghana, West Africa, a typical fishing scene would look quite different to the one behind me. Lake Volta is the largest man-made lake in the world. So picture how big Loch Lomond is. Well, Lake Volta is 120 times the size of Loch Lomond. Because it's a man-made lake, where there used to be forests, there are now tree stumps sticking out of the water. And on this lake, tens of thousands of children are being held as slaves, forced to work on fishing boats in dangerous conditions. The nets are cast out into the water, often getting tangled on the tree stumps. Then because children have small hands, they are the ones made to dive deep into the water to untangle the nets. Most can't swim, many get injured, and some don't come back up. This is the brutal reality behind the fishing industry in Ghana. If you look out upon the water on Lake Volta, you wouldn't see children in life jackets like mine, but children living in constant danger. So for our team at IJM Ghana, the life jacket has become a powerful symbol. When a young girl or boy is found on the lake, a life jacket is put on them. Before they're transported to safety, they are cloaked, protected, their lives seen and valued. Amid the darkness of modern slavery, we are seeing incredible stories of freedom. Hundreds of children are being rescued. Watch out for the marker of the life jacket as we watch the story of one of these children, Esther.
Ooh, child. Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter.
Let me fall. Yeah, blonde. I told me, let me tell me. You are dodgy, Havanel. Agora o mundo viu melhorar.
We'll get it together and we'll get it all done. Someday when your head is much lighter.
She never liked the place. She never liked the place.
Someday, we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter.
There are other peoples there that are even suffering more than I am. They have plenty, they are many. They should go back and rescue them too.
The child, the child, the child. Things are getting easier. Child, child, child. Things will get easier.